Hello and welcome to another review from Colour with Claire. Today I'm reviewing the Colouring Book of Shadows, Planner for a Magical 2018 by Amy Cesari. So this is the plannerised version of the original Colouring Book of Shadows by Amy, which I reviewed on my YouTube channel last year. I'll put the link for that in the corner just in case you want to go and have a peek. But as I say, this is plannerised, so as well as all the colouring elements that we've come to expect, it also has the calendar pages for writing down all your appointments and dates. It also has the diary pages for writing down your notes and things like that, and also with it being set in a sort of astrological way, it has all of that, the moon phases and the spells and rituals that you do on each sort of pagan holiday. So if you're interested in all that, this is a brilliant planner and I would definitely recommend it before we even get into it. So you can see that this is the spiral bound version. It's available in 3 different formats. So the spiral bound is on Lulu, it's 6x9. You can also get it on Amazon, which is slightly more accessible for most people, but it's printed on Create Space paper. You can also get it as a downloadable PDF from Amy's Etsy page. Now with the PDF, you don't have to worry about the paper because you can print it on whatever paper stock or cardstock you prefer for your media. You can bind it yourself in whatever way you see fit, and it's generally seen as the best way. But I've got the spiral bound here, it's pretty good and it saves me a bit of time. So it all depends on whatever you're wanting out of it. So the spiral bound version, as you can see, it opens up and we have a lovely title page with lots of colourable elements on it already. We've got a bit of a content spread here with thumbnails of everything that's included in the book. So we've got the moon phase chart, we've got the wheel of the year, we've got calendars for the whole year and each month as well in 2018. Just don't be put off by the fact that we have January gone already and we're into February. This book is incredibly detailed. It's got so much content that it really is going to be worth buying for the next 11 months, so don't worry about that. It also has weekly planning pages with the moon sign phase tracking. So if you're interested in finding out the different phases of the moon when they occur, this is great. The only caveat that I would say to that is that all the dates are for the US. Now quite often they will coincide with the UK dates, so they'll be exactly the same. But on some instances they are a little bit different. So for example, the full moon from January in this book is on the 1st of January, whereas in the UK it was on the 2nd of January. So a few adjustments you might want to make if you are from the UK. We also have some spells, rituals or crafts for each month. So if you are into doing spells or you want to get into it or you want to learn about it, this is a fantastic book with so much informative content. We also have magical illustrations to colour and line spaces for planning and notes. So it's really all-encompassing. As I said, very, very detailed and informative for those of you just starting out with astrology or paganism or spell making, whatever it is you call it. It's really informative, really interesting as well. So we have a colouring page here. We have this book belongs to nameplate page where you can write your name in the cauldron. We then have a little bit of text about the book itself, how to use the planner and tips and inspiration. So basically it says use the planner however you see fit. So as long as you're getting what you want from it, it's all good. So here we have the wheel of the year, which you might recognise from that review that I mentioned because I coloured it in a lovely rainbow colour. We have the moon phases here. We have the sun in the zodiac, so all of our zodiac signs and how the sun impacts on that. We've got a little bit about astrology as well. We've got the moon in the zodiac, again, all the different signs, and then just talking about something called the void of course moon. We have the days of the week, from obviously Monday to Sunday, and all the different planets and whatever it is that are prevalent on that day, I think. We have the time of day from midnight to midday. We have the little box calendar with all the dates for the first and second half of 2018 for you to just mark out your important dates. And then at the start of every single month, there is a page for you to write your intuitions, your reflections, your visions and intentions, the important things and your goals for that month. So in writing it down, and so it shall be, writing it down, it will come true, it will happen. So you can do that at the start of every single month, and you can see that all these note pages aren't just blank lines, they've got some colourable element on them somewhere. Now, as you can see, this is one I've coloured. It's for January, and it's the spell for a herbal salt bath to purify and start anew. So you can see that I've coloured it here. I use Prismacolor pencils, and to be perfectly honest, on this paper, this Lulu produced spiral bound version, it didn't take my pencils well at all. I use Prismacolors, and usually they blend like an absolute dream and you can't really go wrong with them. But this paper, even though it feels quite rough, it just didn't have a tooth there to take the pigment of the pencil, and it very, very quickly became very grainy, very granular, with sort of black speckles, and it was really, really hard to blend with them. So I would definitely recommend that if you're going to be using pencils, you do not need to use anything that's high-end or high quality. You can use pretty much any pencil on this and it will turn out the same. It still looks great, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with it. It just doesn't seem to take the pencils as well as other papers. If that's something you're really worried about, get the Amazon CreateSpace version. It's still cheap and the paper's a lot more toothy and rough for coloured pencils. So we move through January, and here you can see we have the single day boxes for your calendar, so you can write down little notes in the margin and all your dates and appointments as well. And as you can see, those moon phases here. So full moon is Monday the 1st of January in the US, and in the UK it was on the 2nd. But the last quarter, the new moon, the first quarter and the full moon were all exactly the same, depending whether you're in the US or the UK. So to be honest, it swings and roundabouts. So here we have a little leaf that I coloured with a Tombow marker, just to see how markers would do. And as you can see, it does show through onto the other side, and I did colour quite lightly and quite evenly as well. So that's because the paper in this version is incredibly thin. So not only does it not really have a tooth for coloured pencils, it's very, very thin as well. In fact, you can probably see, not sure whether it's showing up here, but you can see the text from the other side of the paper right through the page. That's how thin it is, so it's quite translucent. So markers may not be the best, and coloured pencils will be the thing that I definitely recommend. Gel pens are good as well, they seem to work pretty fine on this paper. Now, as you can see, we have the full days here where you can write down your diary entries and things like that. So we go through January. Again, there's something to colour on every page. We have a whole page here devoted to note taking. And here we have the beginning of February, again with our intuition, goals, visions and intention pages as well. And I've coloured February, and this might be a little bit easier for you to see, this sort of raspberry red pinkish colour. It just went very, very burnished very quickly and very grainy. So that's sort of what I mean by it, but from a distance it looks pretty good. So again, Prismacolors on that one. Here's a spell for clearing your emotions, and it tells you how to perform those spells obviously as well. Now we have the first of the pagan holidays called Imbolc, which is a ritual to cleanse and purify your home for that. So I'm pretty sure that Imbolc is like the start of the year, the start of something fresh and new. Now we have another diary page here, and again, lined page, but with a huge illustration of the sort of pentagram in the middle. So again, we have the same spread for February, going through all the days with all different colourable elements. We have March with its spell. We have Ostara, which I believe is the goddess of spring or Easter or both. So we have loads of Easter eggs and Easter type illustrations, the different flowers and botanics and things that you'll get at that time of year. We've got the hare. We've got Mars up here in the corner. Moving on to April, our illustration's getting a little bit more springy, lots of new blooms coming into play. We have May, which is my birth month, and another one of the pagan holidays, Beltane. So this celebrates the start of the light half of the year and the shift in the Earth's energy. So if you're into all this, you will know all of this already. I'm sort of very, very interested, but I don't know a lot about it, so a lot of my sort of rhetoric is just guessing and interpreting. So here in June we have the midsummer celebrations. So we have Litha, which is drawing down the sun. So this ritual is for doing in the sun, preferably at noon or the peak of the sun. We have a big diary page and the calendar for June. In July, we have Magic Moon Intuition, using the moon to listen to your true self. So it tells you what to do there. Have some lovely little ice creams encrusted with stars and quartz and things like that. So it's all very, very much the same vein all the way through. I can't even begin to try and pronounce this holiday. I'm calling them holidays, but they're actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Rituals, days of particular importance for pagans. So we have October, we've got Samhain, which is Halloween. I only know about that, and I only know how to say that because I'm a massive Halloween fan. I just love anything creepy, scary Halloween. So often on my Facebook, I'll say Happy Samhain instead of Happy Halloween. And people are like, what? So here we have November. Obviously, illustrations are turning a little bit more wintry. We've got Christmas tree, we've got the mistletoe, we've got the decorations. And then the very end of the planner just tells you a little bit about the beautiful Amy there who made the book. Gives you another diary page and another diary page and then a blank page. So that's the end of the planner itself. You can do whatever you like on this very end bit, but it goes straight into the first week of January as well. So, you know, if you do have to just plan ahead for the next week, the first week of the year, you can do that here. So absolutely beautiful. As I say, so incredibly detailed. It really talks you through everything and helps you to understand all of these ritual days and things. Beautifully made. All the artwork is lovely. You don't need to have very thin fine liners or have particularly great eyesight. It's all really accessible to everybody. Just absolutely beautiful. So depending on the version of the book that you want to get that we discussed earlier, you'll need to go in the description of this video and check out the book at whichever format you want it. So we have Amazon UK, which is currently selling for $10.99. We have it on Amazon US, which is $10.79. We also have it on Amy's Etsy page, which is the downloadable PDF, and that's £18.70. There's 100 and... where are we? I did see this. Something like 170 pages. Oh, almost 200 pages. So it's really good value for money as well. We also have the Lulu version, this spiral bound version, which is £15, 5 pence in the UK. You can also get it in America as well. I'll just check out that price for you while I'm here. Sorry, I'm just going through all the different pages that I've got set up, all the different tabs. It's $18.99 on Lulu. So there you go. Let me know in the comments what you think of this beautiful planner. I'm loving the fact that I've been able to use some of my little things that I've got on my desk, this lovely piece of raw crystal and my skull paperweight that my son bought me back from his school holiday trip. So that's a nice little bit of scene decoration for you. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Really hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.